Everybody, I should have did this tutorial a long time ago, but I just now got time to get around to it. But it's basically the behind the scenes, kind of breaking down how I did this animation. So it looks real simple. I'm gonna play it and kind of pause it throughout and explain what I did and what was involved with it. So here we go. Even in that simple little segment right there, all that was created in Anime Studio. There's different ways to do this. You can use different videos and import them all in one project in Anime Studio, but I chose to do it separately. So I'd animate a portion of it, bounce it out, and import it into a different video editing software. So that curtain opened, I found the tutorial on how to make a fabric looking material. Like you see this bending curtain. Just that real simple thing. Took a lot of work actually. So you import that in Anime Studio, create these different little vectors here. And using, I think it was a lot of bones. Each one of these were attached to a lot of bones. If you're not familiar with Anime Studio, you basically use bones to you can use bones to manipulate and bend objects by attaching a vector to a bone layer. And that's basically what these two curtains are. There are a whole bunch of bones, and I have them bending and animated to open up, and they kind of have this little bounce. You see like almost a tension to it when it stops. That's all. If I can find the tutorial, I'll link it to it, but it was a tutorial showing how to make like a cape or like a fabric or whatever you wanted to use, and I made it into curtains. So let's continue with the video, shall we? Of course, sound effects I had just found online and created some too using like Reasons and in Pro Tools. So just in that short little second, we have background noise and music playing in the background. It's music I did. The fart noise, found that online. You see all this little Simon Cowell looking character and anonymous looking guy here. I believe the Starbucks cups I had found online, and I turned them into vectors and adjusted the colors. I actually have the project here, so you see him walking in there. I'll kind of break down so you can see there's a lot of different layers involved in here. Like the little computer itself, this is attached to its own little bone layer and can be manipulated. I can move it around. It bounces, it shakes a little. It's the same thing over here. It's duplicated the same computer, but I changed the colors around in the logo. So it animates, so as he's typing, it moves, so you can kind of feel the weight behind his typing. The cups, I believe it's the same one, duplicated, changed the color around. Of course, the shadows I had to adjust. And I don't think for this one, but usually I would create different layers for the face, different eyebrows, eyes, nose, all that would be separate. But on this one, I think it's just one solid layer for his head. Let me see if I can find, yep. Yeah, so it's just one layer. But the Simon Cowell character looking guy, that's all separate layers. I'm still new to using Anime Studio. There's a lot of things I messed up on, and you'll notice throughout the animation, like masking, I didn't mask out the little lines on his arms or his neck, and a lot of little things. A lot of little things you wouldn't pick up on if you're not familiar with animation or graphic work. Like the Starbucks logo, I also didn't mask out all the little outside of it. So, little things like that, but they annoy me. I'm very picky. But yeah, so you see him begin this little typing. Yeah, so you can see these hands are attached to bone layers. You see the character over here's reaction to everything he's doing. He's just kind of being like an annoying, loud Starbucks customer there. So let me continue. Alright, so we have like this, you see what he's actually typing. It's like this little matrix looking code thing. So it's another animation I did separately. So in Photoshop, I found another tutorial on how to create this little matrix code. It was a separate one on how to like apply that to someone's face, but I just took the words and kind of animated them. Of course, there's no audio in here. That was all done after all the animation was done. So you take basic text. I believe you imported like an image in a Word text file, and it gives you like the weird looking code. These aren't like actual letters. Well, they're letters, but they're just gibberish. And you adjust the brightness of certain rows and columns and whatnot, and duplicate it over, and adjust how much of it you want shown at one time, whatever. But all that was done in Photoshop and animated in Anime Studio. So as one solid chunk, all these words come down, and I just had to adjust how fast that happened with the timing in Anime Studio. So continue. Of course, more typing noise, as well as weird computer noises. You hear him constantly farting, so this guy's little facial expression gets more and more agitated as he continues. And pause it right there. So this is let's see, for this I believe I grabbed a screen capture off of I forget which website it was. There's a whole bunch of text over here, but in the screen capture I edited once again in Photoshop. You can kind of see remnants of some little leftover parts of it on there. I didn't quite mask it all out, but just cut out certain things, Coast the Captain drunk, like a lot of words were cut out or scrambled around. Obama is MIA. A lot of random things. Just had like the basic framework of this page. Snatched this logo off of some other anonymous video that was posted online and posted over here. So with these two files, I imported this in Anime Studio Pro, and I animated. Let me rewind a little bit. This little arrow that you see and the loading sign. So all this is animated. So you see the little arrow going on. Sound effect of the click. A little circle from the click. That had to do with, masking. So just, a quick second, the circle comes on and off. Same thing with the sound. It comes in and out. And the loading page. Typically people kind of get frustrated waiting, so they move the little arrow around, so I just animated that. Okay, so we see the video loading there, the little anonymous V for Vendetta logo thing going on. Clicks on the YouTube page, wants to see the entire video. So this is another screen capture I snatched off of YouTube and then superimposed the anonymous logo over here. I don't know if you could read that, but it says Badge Blaster 9000. I think that was off of Equals 3, that Ray William Johnson little comedy series he has on YouTube. I just kind of superimposed that. I thought that was silly. I don't know, very subtle but nerdy. There you go. Let's continue. So we're hearing the music still playing, different perspective, so it has that more reverb to it. It's supposed to be from his position, what he's hearing inside this Starbucks as he's browsing online still. Continues typing. Notice the sound difference there from his perspective. Now from the outside you hear the crowd and the music playing lightly in the background. His face is getting more agitated. Now he's hacking into government files. Gets into Area 51. Supposed to be like an old camera sound. I didn't have time. I should have, though. It would have looked better. But have this little character talking. But I realized it's, black and white back in the day. We didn't have really sound footage or good quality sound, so I wouldn't even know where to start. But see this little footage of a little alien planet with these little gray-looking alien things, UFOs, weird tropic-sounding jungle noises. I don't know why I chose that, but pyramids. And it's actually the same character, duplicated, and I think it's one solid vector. You can see like there's parts that I didn't quite get where he bends his arm, and you can see like warping going on there. Cuts back to this video. So once again, these are all different videos kind of spliced together after all the animation was done. Back to the Matrix looking thing. Toxic and government television programming to rot your brain with television. I don't know. Couldn't come up with anything witty. So we see this kid walk in the room. Finally get back to this last little part here. TV's playing in the background. For as retardedly simple as this thing looks, it's a lot of layers taking place. So we have the animated background with the picture on the wall, the couch, this little Xbox looking thing. Of course, the animation playing on the TV. This is, I believe, one that might be playing in the background. If not, it's the same basic idea as I would have an animation that I did separately.
It's Weezer, baby.
So this little Wayne looking guy. Turn that volume down. It's distracting. So this little Wayne looking guy drinking lean. So you'd take that image, import it in the Anime Studio, and you'd kind of bend the image, or twist the image, I should say. Didn't quite bend it, but try to manipulate it in a way where it looks like it's matching and it's on the TV. I imagine there's different ways to do this. I didn't know how to do it at the time. I still don't. I could probably find out, but I haven't. But anyway, so that's what I did. So I had separate animations. Older ones I did. Some little pissed off old guy in the park. What else we got here? Some guy typing on TV or computer, and this computer blows up. Some really bad beginner animation I did there. Oh, there goes little Wayne looking character there. Yeah, you can see how I didn't quite match that one right. So turning it, trying to angle it so it looks like it matches the TV wasn't that easy. Yeah, so just took that animation, bent it. So cuts from that image, zooms in on his face. I should have had his face once again more animated, didn't. That is one of the characters that, like, all these different pieces of his face, the nose, eyes, eyebrows, hair, ear, all that are separate parts. Back to the original. So this Simon Cowell character is so frustrated with dealing with this guy's noise and just farts and all this, whatever he's doing. He breaks his own laptop, walks away. So really simple, stupid little video. A lot of time put into it, surprisingly. A Mayweather looking guy. He has no feet. I just didn't have that in. I don't know why I didn't. But as he throws a punch, the camera kind of bends and shakes like you're getting hit, and you finally knock out. But anyway, that's a quick, hopefully that was a quick run through, as fast as I can make it, with how that animation came about. A lot of little pieces done. Have any questions, comments, please leave them. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more tutorials and stuff.